Horizontal well drillers first got our attention when two of its executives showed up in a lavish signing ceremony at the Venezuelan presidential palace in July. On the right, General Counsel Brent Mills. On the left, CEO Todd Swanson. Swanson even made a speech.
Senor Presidente, it's been an honor to meet you today and discuss with you and your team the strengthening and expansion of the relationship between our company and your country.
Todd Swanson is addressing Nicolas Maduro, the controversial leader of Venezuela, who's sitting right in the room and seems pleased to have the Americans there.
Todd Swanson, Presidente de Horizontal Well Drillers. Welcome.
Another thing that made this signing ceremony interesting? It occurred just 17 days before the U.S. administration announced that Maduro was being added to the sanctions list. Not even Putin's on that list.
Maduro may no longer take advantage of the American financial system to facilitate the wholesale looting of the Venezuelan economy at the expense of the Venezuelan people.
It's not illegal for a U.S. company to drill in Venezuela, but why would a small firm from Oklahoma want to go into a country rocked by violent protests and saddled with a collapsing economy? Listen to the company's spokesman, Russ Florence.
You probably gathered from some of the stories that Horizontal Well Drillers is not doing a lot of media interviews, haven't done any about this project. They're just wanting to kind of keep a low profile.
So after weeks with no answers, we traveled to Purcell, Oklahoma, population 6,400, to try to get some. We knocked on door after door of executives and former executives of Horizontal Well Drillers. Hi, I'm finally showing up at the gated community where Brent Mills lives. That visit prompted this message.
I understand that you've got a crew that's outside of his house. I just talked to Brent. Brent's out of town, so he's not going to be available to talk to you in person. We were going to call and schedule a time for you all to visit.
That supposed visit, it never happened. We drove to Horizontal Well's headquarters, where security took pictures of us while we were taking pictures of them and their 3 visible rigs.
I was wondering if there's anybody here from the company that we could talk to.
Here you go.
You were told to give this to me, or? Yeah. Media inquiries about Horizontal Well Drillers are the responsibility of Russ Florence. Yeah, we've talked to him, but he hasn't really been that responsive. There's nobody here that we could talk to?
No comment.
After that, we tried to see Russ Florence in person at his office in Oklahoma City. We eventually got answers via email. The company wrote that a key reason Horizontal Well Drillers got the contract, their rigs are, quote, uniquely qualified for the shallow horizontal wells in geologic formations similar to those found in the Orinoco Belt, and that their rigs have large capacity but a small footprint, so they can fit in difficult-to-reach areas. Their contract is to drill nearly 200 wells in the Orinoco Belt, which is home to the largest oil reserves in the world. Pedro Borelli, a corporate finance consultant who opposes the current Venezuelan government, used to sit on the board of Venezuela's oil company. He has serious doubts about this deal.
Under no circumstance that I know of, a contract of this amount would go to a company of that characteristics. I'm not questioning their ability to do small jobs. I'm just questioning their credentials to do large jobs.
Paperwork filed with the Oklahoma County Clerk shows the company has been financed at least in part by Calidus Capital, a Canadian firm that provides, quote, funding solutions to companies that cannot access traditional lending sources. As for their finances, neither Calidus nor Horizontal Well Drillers would comment. As to why they would agree to participate in a signing ceremony with Nicolas Maduro in the midst of violent protests against his rule, Horizontal Well Drillers told us this signing ceremony was required. Why would Nicolas Maduro insist or require these 2 Americans to come down and do a signing ceremony in front of him?
They're trying to say we're not isolated. Look, there's some Americans here who actually disagree with the president, who are willing to come and be here and invest in Venezuela.
But having them there is about using them as props for Maduro.
Absolutely.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.